Come on. Oh, I'm gonna turn it down
Yeah.
next year.
Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Good afternoon.
Amazing.
Yes, good. Oh, look, we got a couple more people coming in. I don't normally start quite so on time. My name is Brooke Dickhart, and I'm the Executive Director of the Joel Fund. Welcome, everyone. Our topic this month is about veteran benefits. And before we get started, I like to review our mission and objectives of the VMFA. Our mission is to strengthen the local veteran and military community. And our objectives are to identify gaps, opportunities, and barriers in service to improve service for veterans and military families. We coordinate information on services for veterans and military families, and we educate veterans, military families, and our community advocates on community-based efforts and suicide prevention. So let's make sure I've got everyone here who was in the chat. What I would like to do first, we're going to start in the room here and go around and introduce ourselves. So if you will, please give us your name, your military affiliation, and then also what your favorite Thanksgiving favorite Thanksgiving dessert is. We'll go with dessert.
So I'm Antonio Bird, Marine veteran. I'm the community coordinator with Veterans Bridge Home. And I'm gonna go with sweet potato pie.
Ooh. Nice.
Hey, everybody, I'm Carla Jackson. I am a Navy veteran. I am the Veteran Services Supervisor with Wake County Veteran Services. And my favorite Thanksgiving dessert is Mommy Moss Pound Cake.
Hello, everyone. My name is Darius. I'm a Veteran Service Officer with Wake County Government. I'm housed here in Wake Forest at the Northern Regional Center. I'm the grandson and son of an Army veteran, and my favorite dessert is sweet potato pie today.
I'm Brenda Brubaker. I'm here with Vietnam Veterans of America, particularly interested in benefits for aging veterans. And my favorite desserts, probably second helpings of everything from dinner.
Nice. Like it.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Patton. I currently serve on the Raleigh City Council. I have not served in the military myself, but come from military connected family and spouses family. But in my role in the city council, I want to make sure we're serving our veterans community the best that we can. So I'm happy to be here and learn.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome.
Well, dessert.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and the dessert. I'm like a classic pumpkin pie girl myself.
Nice. Love it. Paul?
Yeah, I'm Paul Berry with Veterans Bridge Home. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, live in the Raleigh area. Matter of fact, right in your area, Megan, I think. So it's good seeing you the other day. Favorite dessert is by far my wife's homemade apple pie. I have no idea what secret ingredients she puts in there, but I love it. But I'm also close second with Brenda that just a second helping of everything is a dessert. So thanks.
Nice. Elton?
Elton Corbett, the Air Force veteran. Let's see what else. With Durham, Chapter 21 of DAV. I'm the commander as well as the service officer. And my favorite would be, I guess, potato pie, sweet potato pie, along with cranberry sauce. And I know most people wouldn't say cranberry sauce is a dessert, but to me it is.
Okay, I really think I'm missing out on this sweet potato pie because we never had that growing up. So who's bringing me one?
You better go get your Patty LaBelle pie and just start.
No, they can't be the first one.
Yeah. First, bring it in slowly. Go get store bought first and then branch out, because everybody can't make a good one.
I've only ever had pumpkin pie. Okay, Landry.
Hey everyone, I'm Landry Young. I'm the Marketing and Outreach Manager here at the Joel Fund. I'm also a military spouse, and my favorite, I think, is pumpkin pie, but I'll take any sweets.
That's a good answer. Danny?
Hey everyone, my name is Danny. I am a U.S. Army veteran, and my favorite dessert. Y'all all have said so many good things. I think I'm gonna have to go with the pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie, but I do like some pudding too. So
Nice. Charlisa?
Hi, I'm Charlisa Powell. I am the State Project Director for the Veterans Law Project of Legal Aid of North Carolina. I'm not a veteran, however, I am the daughter of a proud Vietnam veteran. My favorite Thanksgiving dessert would have to be apple pie. I really don't like pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie. The texture.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have to go with that.
Take her off. Go on, take her off.
DeQuanta?
Hello, everybody. I am DeQuanta Copeland. I'm the Wake County Housing Community Engagement Coordinator. And I'm the from scratch baker of the family. So I am everything cobbler. Probably just the crust really, but I like the flavors that comes along with it.
Nice, awesome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
David?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm David Williams here at Hire Heroes USA. I run the homeless veteran program here in Wake County area. And my favorite Thanksgiving dessert is peach cobbler since I'm from Georgia. Got to have the peach cobbler.
Nice. Thanks, David. Good to see you.
You too, you too.
Matt?
Hey, everybody, Matt, Reserve Component Transition Assistance Advisor, Army vet. Mama Dips, chocolate pecan pie. Can't beat it.
Nice. Awesome. Lisa?
Hello, everyone. I am the new grants manager at the Joel Fund. I am an Air Force veteran, married to a newly retired Air Force veteran. My roots run deep in the Air Force, including a daughter that's currently serving in the Air Force. I usually don't make it to dessert because I overdo it at dinner for Thanksgiving. So,
Nice. Thanks for joining us. Allie?
Hi, everyone. I'm Allie Anderson. I'm the community care manager here at the Joel Fund. Both of my parents are Air Force veterans. My sister and husband are both active duty as well. I would have to say pumpkin pie. For me, it's a classic. And also last year when I was pregnant, I craved it back in August and ended up making 2 within the span of a month. So so very committed to the pumpkin pie.
I love it. Thank you. Yesenia?
Hi, everyone. Hire Heroes USA, the federal program. Favorite dessert? Wait for it. Cool Whip with a little bit of pumpkin pie. You gotta have that Cool Whip on everything, but especially pumpkin pie.
Yum. No, not many. One person said chocolate, right? Who said chocolate? Everything's been, no, someone said chocolate pecan pie?
Yeah, Matt did. Mama Dips, Chapel Hill chocolate pecan pie.
Okay, so you're the only one so far. Okay, Cynthia? Are you able to introduce yourself? She might be.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Harris. I'm with USA Veterans Help in Durham, North Carolina. And my favorite dessert, of course, is sweet potato pie, but I also love a homemade pound cake with cream cheese icing. And I'm also the homemade dessert maker in my family, and I make that, and it's delicious. Everybody goes crazy.
Love that. Thanks for sharing. Diana?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Diana Youssef. I am the Housing Grants Administrator for Wake County, and we work very closely with the veteran community. Thank you for your service, everybody. For Thanksgiving specifically, my favorite dessert is sweet potato casserole with candied pecans. And I also
Nice. That sounds wonderful. Diana, I'm gonna have you speak first, so just in a few more minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
Caroline?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Caroline Griffin. I'm with the Durham VA Caregiver Support Program. I'm a retired Navy wife, and my dessert this year is new. I've placed an order for apple dumplings, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pumpkin pie. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Monique?
Good day, everyone. My name is Monique Grant. I'm with the 81st Army Reservist. I carry regions North Carolina and South Carolina. I am a daughter of an Army veteran, a spouse of an Air Force retiree, and now I work with the Army. And I also served for a couple years in the Air Force as well. My favorite dessert is apple pie.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Before we hop into our benefits discussion, I would like to have Diana, let me pull up. Diana, do you need to screen share? She's going to talk about the Wake County Consolidated Impact Survey, correct? Am I saying it right? Community Impact Survey.
It's a survey that we have out gathering community feedback on what would you like to see happen to address housing, homelessness, and community development needs for the next 5 years. So very quickly, just a brief summary on what that survey and the consolidated plan is used for. So HUD requires that Wake County puts together a 5-year strategic plan detailing how we intend to use federal funding or federal grant funding, to be more specific, to address housing, affordable housing, homelessness, and community development needs in our Wake County entitlement community. And the Wake County entitlement community consists of 10 municipalities outside of the city of Raleigh and the town of Cary, because they receive their own HUD funding. So we're grateful for the opportunity to engage with you all and share the survey to get your feedback. I know some of you have already heard me before discuss our presentation, but this is just a way for us to gather more feedback. If you're working directly with stakeholders, with clients, please do feel free to share this survey widely to get their input on what would they like to see happen. What are some of the challenges that folks are facing when it comes to affordable housing, when it comes to support services, community development, our homeless community, veteran homeless community, also how we can best serve them, and how we can allocate these resources. So thank you, Brooke, for the opportunity. I'm going to drop the link to the survey in the chat. And also, if you would like for us to schedule a one-on-one to speak with your group separately, we're open to that. We are doing active stakeholder engagements all throughout the month of November and December to get input and feedback from our community and our service providers. Thank you for.
Thank you. And the link, we will also include that in our follow-up email. But just to add into this, we spend a lot of time, especially in this group, talking about veteran housing. And with the growth that we're seeing in this area, it's so important that we provide feedback so that our counties can, take these things into consideration and apply them. This is our opportunity for our voices to be heard. So please, please, please take a few minutes to fill out this survey, and please share it with your groups, okay? So we will send it out. It's very important. So let's get lots of people to participate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming on for a few minutes. You're welcome to stay and listen. It's totally up to you. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Sure, absolutely. We're going to continue on with our discussion on veteran benefits. We have 2 official panelists, and then I've also, anyone else who's in this meeting and would like to add to the conversation, please do so. But I'm going to have first, Darius, will you introduce yourself and talk about your role within Wake County and how that applies to veteran benefits?
Okay. So my name is Darius, and I'm a veteran service officer with Wake County government. What my office does, we help veterans, family members, surviving spouses, and sometimes children apply for federal and state benefits that they're entitled to through the system. And so we walk the veterans through the claim completely. So we gather the evidence with them, the paperwork, We fill out the claims for them, we submit it, we have them track it throughout the entire process from start to completion. And then we explain our benefits to them once they're awarded, if they're awarded anything and what they need to do next.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Our other panelist is Charlisa. Will you please explain how you work with veterans? And yeah, let's start with that. Thank you, Brenda.
All right. As I said earlier, I am state project director for the Veterans Law Project. The Veterans Law Project itself helps veterans apply for and appeal VA disability benefits. We also help with military discharge upgrades as well as military records corrections. We are all accredited and we can do that. However, we also are a clearinghouse just to get veterans into legal aid. It's a lot of people that call legal aid and just aren't able to get through. So we actually have our own hotline where veterans can actually call us. One of us will actually call them back, see if it's something that we can help with, and then send the case on to the appropriate legal aid local office and advocate. Or we work with folks like you to see, if we need to provide referrals and things like that. So we try to provide as many wraparound services in addition to actual representation and all the matters that legal aid help with in addition to VA disability benefits.
Awesome. Do you only work with veterans, or can you also work with family members, or is it just the veterans?
We can work with anybody. Legal aid works with our population are low income North Carolinians. So some folks, as long as that family member can themselves meet our criteria to get into legal aid, then we can help. Veterans, and again, it's a little bit confusing right now, but right now we are receiving VA funding. So from the Legal Services from Homeless Services grant. So a veteran can come in no matter what their income level is, but as long as they are at risk of homelessness or actually homeless, then they could make theoretically $100,000, be couch surfing, and then they can come in and get our services. Or if they're 60 and above. Soon we're going to be able to expand that to all veterans, but then some of those veterans would still have to be what we call LSC eligible, legal services. Eligible. So it's a little, but theoretically, yes.
Okay.
We put our service, for all of you that don't know, we're legal aid, so our services are free. However, law, supply and demand, everybody can't come in because we're numbered in our resources.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm going to ask a question because sometimes this is a very confusing area for me. Now, I did not serve, so that might be why it's confusing. But to qualify for VA benefits, which is what you're helping them connect with, can they only have a certain discharge status?
Anything other than a bad conduct. So if it's anything other than honorable, it's up to the VA to decide if the discharge is eligible for benefits. If it's not, if it's in between honorable and bad conduct.
So what are the?
It's on general, other than honorable, uncharacterized. That's the ones I know off the top of my head.
Okay. So then do you sometimes have someone who comes in and wants their help with trying to get benefits and they don't have the correct discharge status? Do you refer them to legal aid to try to work on that?
So we don't, because we actually help them do discharge upgrades as well.
Oh, okay.
We do those same services.
Did not realize that. And what is that process? So Charlisa, if you could just kind of walk me through what the process looks like, because we get a lot of veterans who need that help. So what, Allie, I see Allie nodding. So yes. So, what's the process look like once they're connected with you for them to be able to go through this?
Okay. Honestly, we do intake. Let's meet. Let's talk about what it is that you need. Then if it's a case that I think we can handle just based on what they're telling us, then we, if it's a just regular VA benefits claim, we're going to have them sign the representation form. I'm going to get access to their file, review it, and then I'm gonna sit down with them and be honest and tell them what I think based on my years of experience. I started my legal career at the Board of Veterans Appeals, which is like where they appeal it to if it's denied at the regional office level. I was there for 10 years, wrote over 1,500 decisions. I think I know what I'm talking about. I think I know what I'm doing, and I've been doing this for 20 years. So I try to be as honest with them as I can about, you know, the truth of the matter. Everybody's not going to get it, where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are, what we can maybe do. We'll help them fill out the claim. My theory is, I used to also do private sector work where they don't want to take a case unless it's already been denied, because for private attorneys, it's about getting money for the back pay. My deal is, well, I'm not getting paid regardless. So how about we try and get you what you need from the get-go? And that means making sure that your claim is as complete as possible the first time around. So that's kind of what we do. If the veteran does have even a dishonorable discharge, it doesn't really matter, because I am going to file a character of discharge determination in addition to the claim to let's see what happens. One of my cases, the guy, he definitely had a dishonorable for one positive weed test, and we were able to overcome it, and he'd been trying for years. I think Wounded Warrior tried to help him, and he really just wanted his benefits, and he really deserved them. I thought he was a Afghani vet, and he really messed up. And so my thought process is always, okay, well, I don't have to wait for the discharge upgrade to get you your benefits. Let's do both. Let's do both at the same time. And because especially if the veteran is homeless or anything like that, VA will expedite the claim. So let's try to get you your money first, and then we can work on getting that discharge upgrade, because we know that can take a long time. But at the same time, I don't do discharge upgrades. I'm learning because I'm a benefits person. My colleague does the discharge upgrades. I'll give her the case. She's working on the discharge upgrade at the same time. So hopefully, you know, it'll be a double win for the veteran. But if not, at least hopefully he or she will win at least at one level.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yes, of course.
So this is a question for legal aid. Back before COVID, we used to have an annual expungement clinic for veterans. And I haven't heard of any recent expungement clinics. We do it together with UNC, Campbell, and NCCU's law schools. Are you planning any of those in the near future?
I remember talking with you, I think in Durham, was it this summer? I remember you, and I told them that. I told Professor Valentine at Central that same thing, as well as the managing attorney from the Durham office. That is something that we can work on. It's one of these things that has to be, everybody kind of has to meet and let's make it happen. So if you want to make that happen, and everyone who I've talked to said they want to make it happen, if you can reach out to me so we can start having conversations about it, because it will take some planning.
So maybe one thing to put on the radar is the Veteran Benefits Live event next year. I know you all have been there in Cary. So maybe that could be another opportunity to, you know, plan, because that'll be next fall, I think, to do an expungement clinic at that time.
Yes, and my colleague and I were actually talking about that too. We thought, well, we're just sitting here. Maybe that's something we could do, especially in light of the fact that legal aid now also has this mobile unit. So that would be a good way to also utilize that mobile unit. But that's definitely on our radar.
Okay, we will follow up with y'all about that for sure. Yesenia, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Charlisa, do you have any connections, not locally, but in other states, specifically like Virginia, Maryland, legal aid? And the reason why I ask, because I know you mentioned that you do everyone as long as they meet the threshold, correct? So if we have a military spouse that has a lot of, she cannot get secure federal employment because of a lot of legal things that have been in her record for over 15 years. That is not preventing her to get that security clearance. Do you work with people like that? But she's in Virginia. So I was wondering if there's an office that maybe we can.
I myself do not have any particular connections. I can give you like the name of like legal aid adjacent offices in or organizations in Virginia that might be able to assist.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so sometimes we get clients that it doesn't deal with benefits because they're spouses, so they don't get that, the veteran benefits per se, but a bunch of sometimes not getting hired because of those legal things in their records are preventing them. So I was like, okay, well, I just thought I'd ask.
Well, those are expunctions. I mean, that's one of the areas that we get a lot of requests from our veterans. An expunction, anybody can get an expunction, so lots of other organizations do expunctions, whether they're veterans or not. But again, like legal aid, they would be, they have requirements for case acceptance. So as long as that person fits those guidelines, then that would probably work. A lot of private attorneys also do expunctions. There's this one guy in Winston, he was advertising on Facebook. He's like, I love his post. He's like, $150, $150, I got it. And for a lot of people, that's not that expensive, but again, for a lot of people, $150, $200 is, prohibitive from them seeking out counsel. So, but I will definitely share that information.
Thank you. Yeah, this particular client, that 150 will probably be a little bit too much, just because he is active duty right now, but they only have one vehicle, and they're hoping to get that, that job. Anyways, I could go on, but that's just too much information.
Thank
And
you.
my email in the chat. So if you guys have questions, and you want to email me afterwards, it's right there. And I'm going to give you my cell number too, not my phone, my office number.
Thank you. So Darius, talk to us about kind of the process of getting in touch with you, how, what the process looks like to work with you and for the veteran and family member.
Okay, so for a veteran, so the process to get into our office, first they would call the office if they haven't worked with anybody in the office in particular, or if they have reached out to a VSR already, they would just schedule with that one individually. But if a person, if we have a brand new veteran, then they can call 919-268-7456, and then they can get in contact with any VSO, because we have prompts for each person's name and location, based on the veteran's location in the county, and then they can choose, and then they'll get through to someone. And then
Number one more time.
Yeah, it's 919-268-7456. And that's our main number for the veteran services for the county. And then so they'll call that number, they'll most likely leave a message, because we usually with a client at that time, then we'll reach back out to them. We'll figure out if they are already connected to veterans benefits or not. If they are already connected, we'll most likely do a POA with them. So by the time they come into the office, we can have access to their file and then be able to dig into it and look into their service treatment records, so we can best navigate them as far as what to do next in the future. If this is their very first time, once they do book an appointment with us, we'll most likely tell them to bring in a D-214, avoid a check with them. If they have any service treatment records, to bring those in as well, to bring in any recent medical documentation with them, so we can show the VA that, hey, I'm still being treated for these same conditions that I was seen for in service. Or if it's a presumptive condition, then we just ask them to bring in a current diagnosis to show the VA that, hey, I currently have this diagnosis and it was caused due to this toxic exposure. And so, and if they have those things, we'll do the claim with them that day when they come to the office. We'll submit it for them right there on the spot, get them back the paperwork so they have their own documentation of what we did that day. Then throughout the duration of the claim, we'll just stay in contact with them and then let them know of any updates we see on our end in the VA system.
Okay. You're from Wake County? Do you see veterans from any other county?
We do see veterans from a lot of different counties. Wake County right now doesn't have any stipulation as far as which counties a veteran has to live in. They don't have to live in Wake County. We do have people in neighboring counties who are closer to Wake County than their actual veteran service officer in their county, and so they do come see us because it's closer for them, and that's fine.
Okay, good to know. Can they walk in, or is it?
So they can walk in and make an appointment, or they can walk in for services like DMV tags, property taxes, hunt and fishing license. They can walk in for those things. Yeah.
And you're here?
I'm currently here in Wake Forest at the Northern Regional Center, and we have our main office on Bland Road. And then soon we'll have a veteran service officer at the Eastern Regional Center in Zebulon.
That's great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I would like to just, talk a few minutes about benefits for our aging veterans. Charlisa, I know that Brenda had said that there's some stuff that legal aid does, and I would love to have you elaborate on that. You said helping with wills. Is there some other services for our aging veterans that legal aid does or that you particularly help with?
I think that is the biggest one, is just wills. When I do the outreach events, I say that the younger folks tend to come up and ask about discharge upgrades, driver's license restorations or expunctions, and my older folks tend to ask about wills. A lot of calls that we get for older folks also might be dealing with pension. A case that I talked with someone last week, and it's definitely, I think, very timely. It's a son who was calling about benefits for his father who has Parkinson's. His mother is also disabled. They were trying to figure out what to do about getting them care. Mom and dad wanted to go to I guess a adult living, well, not adult, assisted living facility together. They wanted to know would VA cover it. It was just all these things, and I get it because I'm going through the same thing with my own family. What services are available for our older veterans like that? We don't help with that. The only thing that I can tell people, and this is again based on my personal experience, because I'm going through it with my parents, and the fact that I do Social Security and some Medicaid work, is just trying to help people to understand about that 5-year look back period if folks are really trying to get their parents or their loved ones to go into some sort of assisted living, and how all of that may play into, just like the gentleman I talked to, but they make too much money, but this, but that. So we went through all the programs that I thought VA could help with for both of them, but he made a lot of money and he was zero service connected. I really don't know what to do. That's something I would love to, be able to learn even more about. But so I'm really only able to give advice on some of that. But again, some of that's just from my own learned experience, except for the wills. Wills, come see me. Everybody come see me, especially the healthcare powers of attorney. I think those are even more important than wills.
Now I'm going to put this question on you. Oh, go ahead.
This is Ellen, I've got a question. So do you also, Charlisa, do you also help out with tort claims? Now, understanding that a VA tort claim is different from a standard tort claim. And we're talking about claims against the VA for, we'll call it malpractice, if you will.
Yes, we can do those. They're 11, well, I call them 1151 claims, claims. We can do it. The problem with those is that you really need a good opinion by a doctor, a really strong one. And we right now don't have the money to provide the medical expert opinion that's needed. So it's gonna be hard because let's be for real, is VA really gonna say, a VA comp and pen examiner really gonna say, oh yeah, that doctor, you know, he left that thing right there? No, they're not. So I already think that it's going to be a little bit untrustworthy, but as much as I want to do them, and we actually applied for a grant so we could have the funds to do those, we didn't get the funding. So most doctors also aren't going to want what we would be able to offer, which is probably maybe $500. These opinions by medical doctors sometimes start at like $2,500, and that's just for a regular a regular service connection claim. So for a doctor to want to read a whole bunch of medical records and really have to make an opinion, really use their brain, they're going to want to charge a whole lot more than what we're able to do. And that it just is, unfortunately, is what it is. And a lot of times other private doctors that, they're not going to want to do it for free. So that's one of the things that we've been trying to figure out, but our hands are kind of tied right now because we don't want to take a case if it's not going to be successful. And if I can't give you what you need, and we all know that the medical opinions are what really get these cases approved.
Mm-hmm. And then on the other hand, there's the process of getting disability, and not the lawsuit type, but standard disability service connection because of a malpractice.
Yeah.
Or not malpractice, but because of a mistake, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anybody knows of anybody who knows doctors that are willing to maybe provide some low bono or pro bono services like attorneys, I think all of us could benefit from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I have yet to find one.
Is your office only Wake County, or do you reach outside of Wake County?
Actually, I sit in Greensboro. We
Okay.
are a statewide project, so we are all over the state. It's just I live in the Winston-Salem, Greensboro area, and that's just kind of where we are. Okay. But we're everywhere. I'm everywhere. Like it's just an hour and a half. A stop by Tanger. It's all great.
I just want to circle back to Darius about benefits for aging veterans, and I should have had even Caroline hop in on this from the caregiver program, but what are some things, because I know we personally have sent you some older, you worked with a Korean veteran, you just recently are now working with another Vietnam veteran. So, what are the types of the benefits for aging veterans that you're seeing, or the requests that you're seeing, that sort of thing?
Yeah. So we have like a lot of veterans, caregivers, and children. They call and they always ask. The main thing is aid and attendance. And so what a lot of people don't understand is that for aid and attendance, you do have to have one of the main benefits, which is either VA compensation or VA pension, because the aid and attendance is a supplemental benefit on top of those. And so if you do receive VA pension, in order to receive the aid and attendance, the need for aid and attendance has to be service related. And so on that form, which is the 21-2680 in box 25, it asks the doctor which disability is causing the need for aid and attendance. It has to list a service related condition for if you receive VA compensation. If you receive VA pension, that's income based, so the need for aid and attendance, the disability doesn't matter as long as your doctor can demonstrate on that form that you do need help with activities of daily living. So aid and attendance is our most popular thing that our elderly veterans apply for, but also let veterans or the spouse or the children know that the veteran can also apply for aid and attendance for the spouse too. Mm-hmm. Of course, the rate is not as good as the one for the veteran, it's a lot less, but the veteran and the spouse can both receive aid and attendance as long as they can get documentation from the doctor, which will be the same form, the 21-2680, stating that they need help with activities of daily living. And then things that we don't help with, but I always ask my veterans to ask their primary care doctor about is the HISA grant. So if the veteran has a disability, they need either the door frames widened or they need the tub changed like a walk-in shower, things like that. If they have the disability to to apply for that, I always tell them to have their doctor give them a referral to the prosthetics department. That way they can check in on that. We also, you said the caregivers program, I also tell them to apply directly there too, because that's a VHA benefit. And so usually I work with VBA benefits, but through VHA, which is the caregivers program, they can apply if the veteran receives at least 70% service connection. And then they can display to the VA Healthcare Administration that they need help with activities of daily living as well. So from the last time I spoke to someone at the caregivers program, they did tell me that the veteran they can be in the caregivers program and they can receive aid and attendance at the same time. That's what they last told me. And so, and so when the spouse or whoever, the person who lives with the veteran, if they apply for the caregivers program, they have to take care of the veteran full time. And most likely it's someone who is not working. So when they apply for that program, if they are accepted, that person, the caregiver, does receive a monthly stipend. And they also receive VA healthcare because they aren't working. So the VA takes care of them and provides them with healthcare as well. And so.
Can you, can you talk a little bit about pension versus Social Security? Or not versus Social Security, but pension and Social Security.
So because VA pension is an income-based program, any additional income that the veteran does receive or the household receives in general can affect the pension amount. It does have to be reported on an income and asset statement. So we do encourage veterans, if anything, income changes, they definitely need to report it to the VA because it could cause an overpayment. But we also tell them too that if you or your family member starts receiving additional medical expenses, also document that as well, because that could increase your monthly benefit. So if they receive VA pension first and then later start receiving Social Security, they should definitely report it because it will affect their monthly amount.
Yeah, I had a veteran who came in with a letter from the VA because he was receiving a pension and started drawing Social Security, drew Social Security for 6 years. And VA says, nope, you got to pay all that money back. And so working with the VA for about 6 months, they finally erased the debt, but they would not give him the, the pension back.
Pension back, yeah.
I think it's important because I do Social Security too, to just remind people that all of these are entitlement programs, entitlement. And it goes both ways. People forget, and then you're like, okay, well, did you report? Did you report? Did you report? Oh, no, I forgot. And I told my client,
you gotta walk into that office and go for the form.
and Big Brother is always going to also come back for money that it feels like you owe them because you failed to do something, whether it was accidental or not. You better stay on top of it. And that's, we do overpayment cases for VA and Social Security. You're like, oh gosh, so congratulations to you for getting that overpayment kind of waived, because sometimes they just aren't, that sympathetic to folks.
Right, yeah, yeah.
But sometimes people, I'm like, were you paying attention? Were you paying attention when they called you to talk about it?
Well, unfortunately, some of our veterans, they're older veterans, Vietnam era veterans, and so they're older. They're not into that mode. They're surviving. His income was that pension and his Social Security. That's all he was living on.
Yeah, I get it. My dad, he turned 80 on Friday. It's very frustrating for me talking to him sometimes. So I get it. I get to yell at him, but I can't yell at clients.
Allie, do you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Darius, when reporting out the different types of income for something like that, would you also include the VA caregiver stipend if they're a part of the paid program? Because I know a lot of caregivers that don't include that in their income statements, and I wanted to make sure.
And ask the question again for me.
Do you put the caregiver support as the veteran's income when they're submitting?
So the caregivers support stipend is going to go directly to that caregiver. So it should still be reported because that person should be in the household with the veteran. So yes.
Okay, because I know a lot of caregivers that do not classify that as income. So I just wanted to verify.
And that would be hard. The VA would be the best person to ask that question to, because I'm not sure they do consider it as income or not. It'd be best to ask them.
Okay.
But I would say report, if they don't consider it as income, they won't calculate into the veterans or the household yearly income.
I was just putting in other and then have it in there. But
Well, you have to list exactly what type of income it is and where it's coming from, the source, and if they don't consider it as income, then they won't calculate it.
My question to you all is this. I see Caroline Griffin, she jumped off. I know that the whole caregiver support program, I think is an area that a lot of people have questions about. Do you guys feel like the same, that a lot of people have questions about it? Because we do lunch and learns, and I would be happy to do a lunch and learn on this topic, just so everybody can know, so we can know too. So, and our clients, because there are just so many questions about it.
I think that would be a great idea, because I think sometimes information, while it's out there, may sometimes be misunderstood or incorrect. So even having an hour where we can hop in and ask questions directly, to someone who is completely hooked into that program, is beneficial for everyone.
Okay.
Don't tell her I said that.
But it is, because I mean, especially I think you guys were just mentioning, like, who gets paid? Is it somebody full-time? All those things. And I have a family member who went through it, so I kind of get it. But I had a lot of questions when she was doing it for her husband. So I think it's definitely a helpful program that our veterans could benefit from. And especially if you have spouses who are already doing it anyway, right? For free. So why not let them know that they actually can get paid for it if they're doing it right and doing what they're supposed to do?
And how recent is that change been, as far as family members or spouses becoming eligible?
I know, I can only tell you whether it's right or not. I don't know. All I know is my cousin died year before last. And his wife had stepped in before then, and she was telling me all the things that VA was, making sure she was doing, her having to report and all of the things for it.
Okay, and the reason I'm saying is because I know at one point that spouses could not be the caregiver. But there was a change, and I don't know when that change happened, but I know it happened. So.
2 years ago, Brenda. 2 years ago. Yeah. Awesome.
She was very strict. She was very much, they're holding her feet to the fire, making sure she was doing all the things, and she was making sure that she did not run afoul of what she was supposed to be doing.
Brenda, are there any other services specific that you would like information on that we can, or is it more about finding the services that are available for aging veterans?
I think it's more about educating our care providers.
There you go.
The Department of Health and Human Services has a program called Ask the Question. And we can't even get the VA providers to ask the family members if they have served. But if we can ask our healthcare providers to please ask their people that they're taking care of, have you or anyone in your family served? The Department of Health and Human Services has a whole toolbox, a whole list of resources and everything available to the providers. And we can do a lot better care of our aging veterans in the community if people would just ask and we're aware.
But I think on the other side of that is having a place that they can send them. So I've been participating in this Wake County community impact survey stuff. And we were at a meeting with it was at Wake Med, and Wake Med leadership was there. And I approached one of them and asked them, what do we have to do to get your healthcare providers to ask that question? So I've already, and she's like, email me. I'm like, so she asked me, what if we ask and they say yes, what do we then do? Is it a flyer? Is it a card? Is it NC serves? Like, what is it that we do beyond that? So that's, I want us to
Well,
continue that.
and DHHS has a whole training program that they're willing to come in and provide. Nobody asks for it.
So I think that's, figuring out what that next step would look like, because when she asked me, I was like, NC serves? It's like, I don't know. But then we gotta make sure all the services are in NC serves, right?
So Brooke, also to go along with that, I don't know the details about it, but I always tell my veterans as their primary care provider about, like in-home nurse coming out to assist if needed. I know those resources are available, and also in-home primary care. I always just tell them to check with their primary care provider, see if they qualify, and if so, try to get them connected to those benefits.
That's another good one, Brenda. In-home primary care providers. Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions? I want to make sure we just have a few minutes for announcements. I feel like the first time the topic of veteran benefits is so big, but I feel like we really honed in well this time for the first time. So I appreciate Darius and Charlisa for your time, and Elton for joining in. Thank you so much. Are there any announcements from the group?
Hi, I'd like to say one thing. This is my first meeting and I truly enjoyed it. I have taken some good notes. I've been writing faster.
Wonderful. You have to come back every month.
All right, then I'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I don't have an announcement. I just want people to know all the services they can engage in with Wake County Veteran Services. So for the veteran, we can apply for VA compensation or VA pension. For the surviving spouse or children, we can help them apply for DIC. But we also can help, which is dependency indemnity compensation, or we also can help surviving spouses apply for survivor's pension if their veteran served at least 1 day during the wartime period. Also, we can help survivors apply for burial allowance, which is which the veteran has to be receiving some type of compensation, either VA compensation or VA pension. We can help them apply for either service-connected burial allowance or a non-service connected burial allowance, and sometimes transportation costs as well.
Is that all on the website?
It should be.
I might have Ally.
It's not, it's not, okay.
Could you send it to me in an email? Because that little blurb I would love to just include in this follow-up email, everything you just said.
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Thank you.
There's a ton of other things, other benefits too. Of course, the veteran's gonna come to us for us to apply for their property tax exemption to the county, either for a DMV tag, unefficient license, to do an intent to file if they plan on doing a claim in the future. It's a ton of things.
Okay, perfect. I know at the beginning you told us how to start the process. Charlisa, should they contact you directly? What would be the best way to put someone in touch with you for all the people here working with veterans?
If I'm gonna be honest, if it's you calling with a referral, email me directly. If you're just passing my information along, I put our little business card in the and they should give us a call that way. But if you have someone that you're definitely working with and you won't send them directly to me. We like our warm handoffs. And I want to kind of piggyback off of, what is it, Darius, right? Darius said, please give us a call if you have any questions. I would be happy to come back for any of you for the Joel Fund or whatever, so I can do a smaller presentation about what all legal aid does so everybody can know, because we do so many things. So you can know when you're talking to your clients or somebody comes to you. I am always willing to be on video. I was supposed to be there today, but my daughter messed that up because gotta love teenagers. I love to talk about what we do, but also learn what you guys do, because I always tell people we're all doing it together, just maybe different parts or whatever, but I need you guys just as much as you guys like to send folks to us. So and I also may want to call on you guys to do some lunch and learn so we can share what you guys do too to our population.
Thank you.
If I can, I do have a question for Charlisa.
Yes.
So I know you said you guys help with, wills. Will you help with a will for a veteran, a younger veteran who has a terminal illness?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
This is Elton. I just want to add that what we do at DAV, very similar to, I like to think of it as that we supplement what the county VSOs or the VSOs are doing. We don't have the same amount of reach because we don't have direct access into the VA system, or we don't do the taxes or anything like that. But we do a lot of claims, and I look at it as supplementing what the VSOs. Because if you look at across the state, there's not a VSO in every town or every county, or maybe every county, but not in every town. DAV has 68 chapters across the state, and every chapter has multiple VSOs who are helping veterans every day. And the ones that we can't help directly, we refer them to the VSOs.
Awesome. Thank you, Elton. Yeah, I think it's important because there's so many different ways that people connect to other veterans. So they, to know what all our options are. It's what we're trying to do. So it's good. Few more minutes. A couple of announcements. Paul Berry dropped a couple of things in the chat. The one thing, one of the things that I want to highlight, the Joel Fund in partnership with Veterans Bridge Home is hosting a women veterans coffee and coffee connection, but it's not coffee in November. It is the Sisterhood of Service dinner. And I believe Humana is sponsoring the dinner. So we will include the flyer in the email. They're asking for registrations. So for a head count on food. Paul also put in there Rocky Mount is having a veteran resource fair. Oh, wait.
Yes.
When is that? I can't see that date.
Yes, it's this Friday.
There we go.
Give me 1 second to pull it up. I just had it. It is this Friday. It's at the Impact Centers in Rocky Mount, so hour 15 from here at the Word Tabernacle Church. VA is going to be there along with other vendors to speak about VA benefits and other services. So it's in Nash County, so there could be no veterans in Nash County and Edgecombe or the surrounding counties.
Yeah.
Get them there.
And then the Joel Fund, we're having our annual art exhibit, Operation Art Exhibit starts on Thursday or Friday. It's in Durham. We will attach the flyer. Please share Thursday. Thank you. It's going to be a fabulous event. They have so many pieces of art. It's very exciting. So anyone else have an announcement that they would like to make? No. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. Our next meeting will be December 10th, second Tuesday, and we will be discussing veterans health/healthcare. So again, another broad topic, which we will narrow down with our panelists. So thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.